Hello and welcome to Sriraj IS. My name is Shashank Roy, and once again we are here with the two important topics related to geopolitics, and both are related to US Iran war. So the first topic is US can't win Iran's real power. In this topic, we are going to talk about why, despite being the world superpower, US is unable to cripple or break the spine of Iran. What strategy Iran has adopted? Why, despite repeated attacks and crippling attack on its vital infrastructure, Iran is not deterred. Iran is not stepping back. In fact, after every attack, Iran is impacting Iran is launching more lethal attack and bleeding United States of America like never before. Iran has set an example. Now, I'm not here a pro Iranian or anti USA. What I'm trying to make you understand here is if you are a student of if you are preparing for UPSC, if you are preparing for GS paper 2, if you are a student of PSIR, or even if you are a common citizen, you must understand the strategy of warfare, how technology has changed the entire game, and asymmetric warfare has is taking the center stage. At the same time, what lessons can India learn? So here I'm going to cover two different articles, same related to the same topic, US Iran war. Now the first one is US can't win Iran's real power. How Iran is winning despite crippling attack on its vital installation. In GS paper 2, the syllabus is like this: International relations, West Asia geopolitics, US Iran relations, India's interest in West Asia, India's interest in West Asia. In GS paper 3, we'll talk about security, proxy warfare, drone warfare, and asymmetric conflict, energy security, Strait of Hormuz. In essay and interview, the question may be related to power versus influence and limits of military force. So, the core question here is why do repeated US attack fail to weaken Iran? Or why does Iran often emerge stronger after escalation? So we will try to understand this topic through diagrams, and then we will go to the slides. The first of all, it all started on 28th of February 2026. What happened? On one side, we had USA and Israel. On the other side, we had Iran. Now, the attack took place, right? And what is the result? So today is the 4th. So this is 30. So this is in total 28, 32 days of warfare. Even after 32 days of war, there is no end in sight. There is no end in sight. Now, in this entire 32 days, what we have observed is the US is giving conflicting information. US is flip-flopping on its statement. Right? What US says initially US expected that this war will end within 10 days, but the war extended up to 34th day, and every day this war is costing billions of dollars to United States of America. Now US allies are not happy. US allies, mainly the NATO members or European Union, is not ready to fund the war. NATO is running short of resources. NATO is running short of resources. Resources are being transferred from Europe, from Russia theater of war, Russia theater of war, to West Asia to pool the resources, right? While US is launching missiles, Tomahawk cruise missiles or THAAD missiles, or using submarines or F-35 fighter jets. Iran is fighting with the low cost drones, ballistic missiles, and cluster munitions. So here, if you look at the diagram, you will get to know this is an asymmetric warfare. What is the meaning of asymmetric warfare? When your adversary is not your match in terms of geography, in terms of military power, in terms of arms and ammunition, in terms of state of the art defense equipments. But despite all that, your adversary is inflicting crippling attack on you. So the technologies has come at the center stage nowadays. So let's have a look at it. Now let's go to the here. The paradox: US is the strongest military power. It has sanctioned Iran. Iran is under sanction, economically constrained. So Iran has limited resources, but despite limited resources, Iran is fighting back. Iran expands its influence through across Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen. So it's not a direct war, but it's a war of indirect influence. So how Iran is doing that? Iran is fighting this war. Iran is fighting this war in not in a centralized manner, not in a centralized manner. Iran is fighting this war in a decentralized manner. Decentralized manner. How is that? How Iran is fighting this war in a decentralized manner? US believes that it will simply attack the supreme leader. Now, when the commander is killed, the entire empire will collapse. But Iran doesn't work in a centralized manner. Iran closely watched Iraq war. What happened in Iraq war? In Iraq war, Saddam Hussein was captured, he was hanged, and with the capturing of Saddam Hussein, the entire Iraq collapsed like a pack of card, and then it was thoroughly exploited, looted, and plundered by the United States of America. So now, Iraq war was closely watched by Iranians. And then they decided that instead of going for the centralized command and control, instead of going for the centralized command and control, they decided instead of going for the centralized command and control, they decided to do it centralized. Means, what does that mean? It means that if there are different nodes of command and control, there are different control of command and control, and they work independently of each other. It means if the commander of one particular unit got killed, now they are not connected, they are independent in taking decisions. They have their own leadership, they have their own logistical arrangements, they have their own supply chain arrangements, and they are ready to work in an independent manner. So even if one leadership is collapsed, second works, third works, fourth works, fifth works, sixth works, and second works, and there is a second line of leadership in every unit. Second line of leadership is in every unit, so that if the first leader got killed, the second will take the place. If second is killed, third will take the place. That's why Iran is not a leadership, not without any leadership. Even after being killed, even after Ayatollah Khamenei got killed, the immediate decisions were taken. While United States of America kept on saying that we have killed Ayatollah Khamenei, and now Iran is on its knees. Iran is without head. But Iran doesn't have one head and one brain. Iran has multiple heads and multiple brain, and they work independently of each other. So this is how Iran is fighting this war. Now Iran's real strategy, they focus on asymmetric warfare. They work with proxy militias, drone warfare, missile deterrence, and ideological mobilization. Proxy means they work with different militia groups, and they are working in They are working in Iraq, they are working in Syria, they are working in Lebanon, they are working in Yemen, right? They're working in different parts of the country, and they are capable of launching crippling attack on US military bases and Israel. Recently they attacked on Iranian on Israel's Iron Dome, and Iron Dome failed miserably to detect the attack, the barrage of missiles launched by these militia groups. So they worked with proxy militias, drones, missile deterrence, and ideological mobilization. Means Iran is not only fighting with weapons or the drones, Iran is also fighting the war of narrative, right? The war of narrative. With each successive killing of its leadership, more and more people are getting united in the name of religion, in the name of ideology. Every every leader killed is getting the status of shaheed, and this is how Iran is mobilizing resources. There is no internal conflict. So while US is thinking that with the killing of every leadership, they are creating more, fissures within Iranian community or within Iranian state, but despite but opposite is happening. What is happening? The more leaders are killed, every leader, every soldier is getting the status of shaheed or martyr, and this is becoming a unifying force within Iranian society. So this is it. Now, proxy network Iran works with Hezbollah, Houthis, PMF militia, Iraq, and Syrian regime. So Hezbollah, Houthis, PMF, and Syria, they work together. Iran, with the help of proxies, is attacking USA and bleeding it. Now, why USA strikes backfire? Because every killing is transforming every soldier into martyr. It creates an emotional outrage, and because of that, people are united, and more people are coming forward for recruitment in the name of religion and in the name of country. The Strait of Hormuz factor, Iran also has a leverage, and that is Strait of Hormuz, because world's 80% oil passes through Strait of Hormuz, and Iran has a complete control on that. So geography is blessing Iran, and Iran has the capability of disrupting the entire naval flow. So control through disruption and not dominance. Iran is not dominating Strait of Hormuz, but Iran has the disrupting capability, and that's what matters the most. Now, drone and missile warfare. What is the benefit with Iran is drones are cheap, hard to intercept, and easily scalable. And in the last 10 years, Iran has worked hardly and made every Shahed drone cost effective. In fact, Iran also supplied it to Russia, right? Now, the sanctions paradox. While sanctions aim to weaken Iran, it led to self-reliance, military innovation, and political consolidation of Iran. And every sanction showed Iranian people that US is an adversary. US is the arch rival of Iranian people, and it was also seen from the lens of religion as well. And that's why instead of division, Iran as a country looks more united. Now, the decline of US deterrence. Earlier, US strike was feared, but now US strike is leading to retaliation. The more attack US launches, the more attack, more retaliation comes from Iran and its proxies. So, rise of multipolarity. Next is regional dynamics. Gulf states are fear Iran, but they want to avoid war, because they know that when they are not doing anything, this is the price they are paying. If they join USA in attacking Iran, it may become more lethal, because Iran is going for brinkmanship. Iran is going for full all out war. Iran has nothing to fail. Iran has decided, come what may, they will fight till last man standing. But that is not the case with United States of America. USA is feeling isolated on every front. US Donald Trump has blamed NATO and called it a paper tiger. Now Donald Trump is also calling European Union countries that go and get your oil from the Strait of Hormuz. Why should I do it alone? In fact, Donald Trump threatened that he might exit NATO. And if US exits NATO, it will be a great disaster. It may embolden China and Russia. Russia might attack Ukraine and other European countries who are bordering Russia, just to check the intent or the deterrence capability of other NATO members. At the same time, China may also launch a crippling attack on Taiwan and annex it completely. right? So regional dynamics, these are the regional dynamics. Gulf states, they fear Iran but avoid war. Israel is ready for direct confrontation and Israel is paying the price. Non-state actors, they are rising in influence. So what is India's stake involved in Middle East? The stakes are energy security, Indian diaspora and trade routes, and strategic autonomy. So India is playing a balancing role. India is playing a balancing role. How balancing role? India has to take care of the US partnership, but at the same time, Iran connectivity, Chabahar port I'm talking about. From Chabahar port, India has the great opportunity to enter into Central Asian market, and India has to maintain its relationship with other Gulf countries as well. So India has maintained a strategic silence. Now, big takeaway, power is evolving. The real power is not in brute force, real power is in networks, geography, and narrative. So, this is it in this article. This is the mind map, and we will get back to you with some more topics. And till then, thank you so much. Wish you a wonderful day ahead. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.